let's take a look at how to access files that you have downloaded from Seesaw. So first, it's important to remember that you have several different kinds of resources that might be posted by your teacher. One type of resource is like the first one here in my journal, and that is a PDF file. So don't forget that when you're saving a PDF file and it has those links, I can see those blue links inside, I want to choose the View Original button. And then up at the top of my screen, I'm going to choose the box with the up arrow. And I'm going to ask this to save to files. I can save it on my iPad and press save one more time. If you've already saved something before, it will ask you whether or not you want to replace the file that you have there. So I practiced by saving this before, so I'm going to go ahead and just replace it with this file. It just doesn't matter to get rid of the old copy of this. And then when I want to access this, I'm going to go and find my Files app. So my Files app is actually at the very bottom of my screen right now. It's a blue folder. So I'm going to choose my Files app. And here is my downloaded PDF. Okay, so I can access things within this PDF. I can go back and refer to it if I want to. It is important to note that if your teacher has linked, for example, a YouTube video, that's not going to be something that you can access offline, but you can read through your challenges, your assignments for the week in this way. And if you have internet, you can absolutely use those links to access other content. So I'm going to head back to Seesaw, and we're going to look at a different type of resource that a teacher might post. So this is a video that my teacher has posted. In order to download this video, I will click the three dots and I will say share or save, and I will choose to save this to my camera roll. Depending on how long the video is, it might take a little longer to save. And then to access that, I'm going to find my Photos app. So again, my Photos app is at the bottom of my screen. If it's not there for you, you can swipe through to find photos. But it is a very colorful looking flower. So you're going to touch that first. And then you can look inside of your Photos app to find your video. Now, most of the time, your most recent video should be at the end of the list. So this is my most recent video. It's here at the end of my list. Okay, so I've already downloaded this. This would be available for me to watch offline. We're going to go back to Seesaw again. Okay, that same process works for photos as well. So if you have a photo that your teacher has sent you, you can also download the same way that you did with the video and access the same way through the Photos app. If your teacher has sent you a particular activity and you need to download that activity to work on offline, you can use the three dots at the bottom of the activity. So I'm going to use this cookie counting activity. I'm going to use the three dots and I'm going to ask it to print my activity, but I'm not actually going to print it. What's happening right now is my iPad is making a PDF copy of this. So just like my first resource was a PDF, now I have this one as a PDF as well. And I'm going to use the button in the top right corner of this window with the arrow. And then I'm going to choose to save this to my Files app. So again, I'm just going to go through the same process and press save. Now, if I go back to my Files app, which is my folder, once that downloads, we'll see it show up here. If you don't see it show up, my advice would be to double tap your home button, swipe out of your Files app, and then open it up again. Sometimes that helps. In this case, it did not help. So let's go back and make sure that it is downloaded. So I'm going to go back to my Seesaw class. Here's my PDF. I'm going to try one more time. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes things don't save. We're going to go to Save to Files. Again, I'm choosing to save it on my iPad. I'm going to press Save. So it looks like it is there. So I'm going to go ahead and replace though. And I might just need to be patient. It's a larger file. Okay, so now I'm going to open my Files app again, and there it is this time. Good. So here's my PDF. Now, a nice thing that you can do with PDFs and also with images is that you can use the markup tools on the iPad. So here I can see my directions for my activity. On the second page of the PDFs, I'm using the little thumbnails on the far right side to change. I've seen how my teacher has given me an example of what this looks like. And now it's my turn. Okay, so I'm going to follow the directions and complete the activity. In the top right corner of my screen, right underneath of where my battery symbol is, there's a little marker symbol. And I can use this and choose a tool at the bottom to use to complete my activity. So I've noticed this is not very thick. So I might need to choose something a little thicker and darker so that my teacher can see what I've done. Okay, so I can see that I can complete my activity now. Okay, and when I'm finished, when I get back to internet, I can choose to airdrop this. When I get back in proximity with my teacher, I could airdrop that to my teacher. I could post this in Seesaw for my teacher. I can also save this version to my files when I'm ready. One thing to note about this is that if my teacher has given me something with a drag and drop, so here I would normally in Seesaw drag these cookies over into the 10 frame. I'm not able to do that as a PDF. But what I could do perhaps is I could draw myself using the annotation tool. I could draw myself some cookies here. And my teacher would know that I still understand the process of what I'm doing. Okay, and again, when I'm finished, I would use the button at the top. So I'm going to take my annotation tools away. I'm going to use the square with the arrow. I'm going to save this to my files. And then when I'm back on the internet, my teacher can help me with uploading that to Seesaw for them, or if I'm in proximity to my teacher, I can airdrop to them. So hopefully that's helpful of how to download and access your files on an iPad, either through the Files app or the Photos app. And best of luck as you complete your assignment.